What's up? It's Juice Beats, back again with another race video, and this is the Sunny King Criterium Masters 40 Plus, going for 45 minutes in this race. And let me throw up the stats real quick. 45 minutes, 25.5 miles an hour average, 294 watts, 365 normalized with a 1209 max. I drove out 3.5 hours to come here. I saw this race 2 years ago, and I wanted to come down here 2 years ago, but for whatever reason, I wasn't able to, and I've just had this one on my mind. Last year, I wasn't able to make it as well. It looked like a really fun race, great atmosphere, and really one of the biggest races of the year. I mean, this gets a lot of the crit season started for a lot of guys. So definitely a race I wanted to come out to and make sure that I could actually do this thing this time. So yeah, quick trip. I had to ride out 3.5 hours, like I said, and then get ready for the race. I actually did 2 races on this day, and so got ready for the 40 plus race right here. And then after the second race, which is the 2-3, I had to go back home. Had some other things going on there, but yeah, so quick 7-hour drive on the day with a couple races in between. But here we go. This is the first lap, and you can see I'm really just trying to get my feet wet in this on this course, because I really didn't get a chance to jump on it, and a lot of guys really didn't get a chance to jump on the course beforehand as well. They were pretty good about getting everybody, on and off the courses right after the races, and then starting with the next race basically. So I think I only got maybe a lap around beforehand, and I kind of walked around a little bit beforehand as well, just to see the different turns and all that stuff, just trying to get an eyeball on where all the cracks and stuff were. But it's different when you start riding at speed around the course as well, and of course having to deal with wind on this day as well, and so you will see that here in the race coming up shortly. But at the moment, I think we're only on the second lap, but I'm doing a pretty good job of sticking in there and staying close to the wheels and trying to draft it the best I can. But here we go. So we're coming into turn 3, and this one kind of bothered me a little bit because I did have to scrub some speed coming into it early on in the race. I don't know if some of the guys were just braking or what, but I was definitely having to brake a bit going around some of these turns. And here's turn 4. This one goes up into the rise of the start-finish line. Toughest part of the course. I think it may be only 2 or 3% or something at points, but it is really tough. You have to put in a pretty good amount of watts each time you go around it, and you can see we did 27 laps or whatever. So a lot of times around this course and doing a lot of times up this hill can take a toll on you throughout the race. And you can see my heart rate's already there at 170, so we're getting up there. I think that had to do with the heat as well. First race of the year that was actually fairly warm outside, and I want to say it was like 80s, maybe 70s, 80s, something like that. And then it's also in Alabama, so you get a little bit of that humidity as well. But yeah, so first heated race of the year, and of course we still have wind. You can see the flag, the big flag, the iconic flag of the Sunny King. Every time you come around the course, that flag is either kind of still like it was just there, or it was just blowing in your face. So it was definitely a windy day with some crazy gusts. Here's that turn 3 again. So I'm trying out different lines on that turn 3 so that I can keep my speed up a little bit better. You can see that last lap that we did, I was like around 21 miles an hour, and there I was probably around 26. So a little bit better going around there. Also about the course here, so you can see like the road on this side, actually, it wasn't too bad going up into the start finish line. You can see the cracks and stuff on the road and all that. I don't remember it being too bad going up this way, but I felt like the backside of the course was pretty banged up and felt like almost cobbles like. It just a lot of cracks, very much beat up on that backside. And then in that turn 3, there's some weird dips on the side. So it was almost like it narrowed a bit on that turn, and there was only like a few choice lines that you could take going into that one there. And you can see the flag is not really blowing hard yet, but it's starting to move a little bit there. But I'm sticking in well. We're 5.5 minutes or so into the race, I think. 4 laps so far. Doing a good job of sticking in here and sticking on the wheels. And I think we're gonna have our first breakaway riders, maybe? If I know that correctly. I had to brake there on that turn again. So we scrubbed down some speed a little bit. No, we had a lot of attacks in this race. So the 40 plus race is a little different. I'm obviously I'm getting older, so I'm able to do the 40 plus, my race age at the moment. But one thing I have noticed about the Masters races is there are a lot of ex-pros or a lot of like old Cat 1s who just don't want to do the pro races anymore, and they jump into these races. And as far as the numbers go, the ones that I counted, and I didn't get through the entire roster because there was 32 or 33 in this race, but there were 11 Cat 1s in this race. So that should tell you something about this race and how fast it is. And so there you go. You see the flag there blowing in my face. And this is the first point of the race where I felt like I was kind of floating back a little bit at that point. Like I caught some headwind. I can't remember if I was taking a drink or whatever. And I lost the wheel in front of me a little bit of the Mac Racer there just ahead. And then, so now I'm kind of chasing back on here. So a lot of times when those gusts would come, it felt like I was literally getting pushed backward. And that, I think that was one of the times there. So now I'm having to try to get back in here, and I've got to put out some wattage going up this hill to get back in with the Peloton here. You can see here, going over 900 watts. Passing a bunch of guys, and then we got this guy. He's putting in a real big dig right here. Got a Stars and Stripes uniform on, so I'm not sure who that is, but probably important if you're wearing the Stars and Stripes right there. And here's the point where the Peloton gets strung out and spaced out and a gap opens up. And that's why you don't want to be in the back of these races, because it gets strung out like crazy. And you can see that the gaps opened up right here. I'm having to push out a lot of watts trying to get back on the back of the Peloton, doing a lot of extra work that is probably not needed, you know, if I just stay in the group and stay up, closer towards the middle or even closer towards the front, you know, to get those better lines through the corners and all that stuff. So here we go, fighting to get back on here. We've got this gap that opens up. It's just me and Sean back here, and then we're having to contend with this gust of wind as well. So not being in the Peloton at that point, and then having to deal with this wind coming down this hill really sucked. You can see my speed is not as fast as it was in that last lap. We were going over 30, and I'm trying to gain speed here, doing over 400 watts. And I'm pushing through this gust of wind. And it's also not good when the motorcycle that hangs on in the back passes you as well. So Sean's gonna jump out in front here, and now we've got our work cut out for us. He's gonna put in some good digs though, and I think we're gonna, he's looking back, making sure I'm there. So I'm like, okay, I think we're gonna have to work together to try to make it back to the peloton at this point. So not a great start here. We're 12 and a half minutes in right here. We've fallen off the back, essentially dropped at this point in the race, and we're having to fight our way back. The motorcycle's already passed us up, and so we're essentially out of the race at this point. But I think just because they're still kind of within sight of us, if we just push it hard and dig down deep here and take turns and do a good job of helping each other out here, I think we can catch back up to him, because there's the motorcycle right there. They just went around the turn. So let's see, we kind of passed Sean here. Let's see if I can put in a little bit of a dig down this hill here. So yeah, still got to contend with the wind a bit here. That flag is just blowing all over the place. What was weird about this course as well was, it felt like obviously there was a headwind on this back stretch, or like kind of a cross headwind, but it didn't feel like we had much of a tailwind on the other side. Sometimes it felt like we had a headwind, so it was kind of weird. I don't know if it was swirling or what, but that's just kind of how it felt. Obviously it probably was a tailwind, and it just felt like I was going slow or whatever like that, but that's just how it felt for me. But going around these turns and pushing it, we can see them. They're right there. Okay, so we've done a lap so far by ourselves. They're right there. They're within a few seconds or so. Sean's kind of hanging off the back. I don't know if that's just the view of my camera there that shows him, or if he's really that far back. But I think I look back at this point to see, can he help me? Yeah, so he's going to come up right here, and then he's going to take another turn. And they are right there. We're closing in. There's the motorcycle. We're not far, so another good push right here, and I think we can make it back on with the pack here. And we're not even halfway through this race yet, so big time pushing already in this race. It's almost like we're doing our own breakaway, but we're in the back. I think some other guys have also fallen off in this race as well, so they were already gone at this point, but we're still in it. We're still chasing on to the back of the peloton, and I think some other things have gone on at the front of the peloton as well. Like I said, I wasn't sure exactly when the two riders went off the front, but it could have been, when we're trying to chase back on at this point, and I haven't heard the announcer quite call out like anything yet, so I'm not sure when exactly it happened or if it happened yet. So Sean's putting in a big dig for me right here, and we are right there, almost at the back of the peloton. If I'm doing over 700 watts up this hill, I know he's putting in some good work, so good job, Sean. He's working hard. We're trying to get back on the back here best we can. Good thing, or I think there was a lull. I would say that there was a little bit of a lull, so that was kind of a good thing for us to be able to kind of catch back up here, come around, and yeah, we finally touched the back here. We're touching the back of the peloton, but it's not a good place to be still, and it's not a good place to get complacent as well. So I know that, and yeah, hopefully Sean knows that as well. So I'm gonna try to move up the best I can, try to get back in the mix a little bit better and get a little bit more protected in the race here. Looks like we got some guys taking some drinks, so that's always a good sign. They're resting a little bit too, so that could possibly help me out. But I can see, like, I kind of drift up. I want to get back in the draft here, and I can see Sean's kind of still dangling in the back of me at the moment here. So I don't see Sean behind us, so I think he has fallen off in the back there. He is popped, and yeah, you could see the flag is almost straight backward. So huge gust right here. But I'm able to kind of stick here in the peloton on the wheel here. And yeah, like I said before, I don't like my position where I'm at. And I need to make a move at some point to get back up to the front. So that's what I'm thinking about right here. I want to position myself a little bit better, like getting in within, those two riders dangling on the back. So I moved up a couple spots, still not where I need to be. I need to be more closer to the middle. But yeah, definitely, I got to start picking off some spots there. This race course was definitely tougher than I thought it was going to be. Like, I knew about the hill and all that stuff before. Probably a few years ago, I probably would have died. I was definitely much bigger then. But I think being, less than 220-ish, 215, 220-ish at this point, like, it still affects me, obviously. I'm still one of the bigger riders out here, maybe still one of the biggest, but it didn't affect me as much as it could have, I guess. So, and plus, when you draft, you're able to kind of take away some of that extra weight there. You can see here again, we got that wind blowing. I'm getting over to the left just a little bit, letting those guys take some of that wind off of me. And that's a technique that I learned from Jeff over at NorCal Cycling. So just watching some of his videos and kind of positioning yourself to get around the wind and stuff like that. Didn't do a good job of it early on, but I'm trying to do a much better job here. And then we've got some surges, so this is why being on the back is not great. So we're strung out here, and then you come around that last turn, and now you've got some surges going up into the front of the race. So that makes it so that yo-yo effect, where things kind of get slingshot up the hill, and then you've got to put out a lot of watts to catch back up. I think there's Sean. So he's got caught up, lapped already. So yeah, he did a really good job helping me get back to the peloton, and then he I think got popped at that point. I'm sticking in there at this point in the race, so I'm still moving, still doing my thing. Trying to figure out a way to move up better. I think I've been on the back way too long, and that's been a problem here. So I need to get myself back up, like I've been saying. It's easy when you're looking at it to say that, but during the race, it's very tough sometimes. It's like you need to, but your body's like, nah. All right, so we're under 10,000 meters here. We've had a few attacks. We're shifting around. I'm sick of being in the back here, and I make a move up here to the front. Finally making my move. I've been waiting on a chance to do this for a while, I think, and then I finally had an easy way to make my way up to the front here of the peloton. I think there are still two guys off in the distance at the moment, but so I think this group, the best we can do is third, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, some of you guys, if you're watching this, let me know, but I think that's what happened. And then here we go, Stars and Stripes. He puts an attack going on up the hill. This is a place where a lot of guys like to put in attacks. I'm not in a position to follow this. I'm gonna be honest. Like I was, already putting in a lot of matches early on, and what I was thinking about getting up to the front there was maybe there'd be a slight lull. I could stick in there at the front, or if there was some sort of attack like that, I could kind of sag the hill a little bit, just like I did, and fit in into the middle of the pack here. But Yeah, those attacks went, and I just did not have the energy to follow at this point. Like, I got up to the front, and now you can see like I'm following all the way back here, and then we've got these huge wind gusts again. And I know I need to get up there, and I know I need to push, and I'm tired. And I'm like, okay, they're right there. They're not going anywhere yet. Got a big attack from the very back of the bunch here. I'm like, okay, let me just fit in again. Let me just conserve this energy again. Hopefully we don't have another attack going on for a little bit. I think I almost got bumped there, or I did get bumped a little bit right there. Got bumped out of my position. So back on the back. Going back up this hill again for the 20th time or so. And things are starting to pull away again. Put in a valiant effort to get back into the race and stay in there for a while, and then yeah, it was like after all that, like the wheels finally just kind of fell off at this point. Like I was just so tired from putting in all the matches and you know, doing a lot of work that was very unnecessary, very much. You know, you're supposed to conserve your energy in these races by drafting, and I just wasn't doing that well enough in this race. And I was like, oh, the motorcycle's right there. Let me get on his wheel, but then he took off. And then, yeah, being out here again with these winds. So I'm not very aerodynamic. If you've seen pictures of me, or if you've seen me in person, like I'm definitely much bigger than a lot of the guys, and yeah, so wind hits me a little bit differently than it does a lot of these smaller guys. Even when I get low, it still hits me a little bit different. So it's very tough for me, even when I'm in an aero position down low or in the drops or anything like that. It's very tough for me to to be aerodynamic at this point. So that's another struggle of being a bigger guy in a small man's race like that. But yeah, the wheels finally fall off in lap 21. They finally start to pull away from me. I put in that big dig early on, getting back onto the peloton, which was an accomplishment in itself. Like, it shouldn't have happened, obviously, but to be able to get back on and also have a buddy to help out, that really was a big deal there. And I thought maybe after trying to get up to the front there and a couple laps ago, if I could have stuck in there at the front of the peloton a little bit longer instead of having those attacks go like they did, then maybe things could have happened later on in this race. But that essentially right there was the end of my race. Getting back up to the front and then having that attack go at that point kind of sucked. So here we go, we're lap 24, and here's the two leaders right here. They're working together, doing a good job. They catch up to me. I don't know how far I'm back, maybe 30, 40 seconds, maybe something like that. But I decided to jump on their wheels, and I felt like they were closing in on the peloton, and I can't remember if I could see them. Like, there's the car up there, but I thought I saw the peloton at this point in the race, and I was like, ooh, if I could jump on them and they're still moving really well together, maybe they can take me back up to the peloton and then I'm right back in it, because I'm not a lap down from them, but technically I'm a lap down from these two riders at this point. So if they work well together like they've been doing and they catch up to the peloton, I still have a chance to get back in this thing and maybe make some fireworks. But this is their last lap. And I guess, you know, because I'm a lap down or whatever and they finish, like when I finish, you know, I'm done as well, technically. And keep in mind, I had a race after this as well. So I put in a lot of matches and a lot of digs in this race. Didn't realize that there were 11 Cat 1s and 9 Cat 2s in this race that finished ahead of me. So that'll tell you something. Pretty good riders, some ex-pros, or, you know, some guys that still ride pro but also ride in this race. And yeah, it was definitely it was actually faster, I think, than the 2-3 race that I was in. So here they go. They're playing a little cat and mouse. He takes off. They're gonna go in for their finish here. I'm not sprinting or anything, so I'm just going in to finish. And so I wasn't sure if I was done or not, because, you know, they just finished and I was a lap down. So I go ahead and I'm still kind of moving through, trying to finish this up here. So they knew they weren't going to get caught by the peloton or anything like that. But I could have sworn I saw them deep in the distance. But I was like, you know, if they could take me up to the peloton, things could happen. But didn't quite happen that way. I think, yeah, this is where I saw the peloton. So they are just going around the turn 3 there, or 4, or getting ready to go around 4, I think. So I remembered seeing them, but couldn't remember exactly when it was. But they had just gone around the turn, and I think they're all heading up into the start finish there. Or did they just go through 3? I think I just saw some helmets, so it's kind of tough to see when the angle is super wide and you're so far away. Yeah, it looks like there are some just going up there. Yep, they're right there. So there's the tail end of the peloton. So I mean, I was close to you know, maybe another couple laps or something if they were, you know, if they knew they didn't have it in the bag at that point. But yeah, I was really close to catching back up to the rest of the peloton, and didn't, you know, finished out 23 out of 33, I believe. So I wasn't last. So yeah, just finished out 23 of 33, and like I said, 11 Cat 1s and 9 Cat 2s finished in front of me. There was a Cat 3 and then and 1 Cat 4, I believe, in the race. So yeah, so I don't feel too bad about that. You know, obviously they're definitely a better breed of rider, I guess, than me. But yeah, I definitely could have done better if I drafted better and you know, conserved my energy a little bit better in this race. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you know when I post videos. And yo, I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.